While lying around and eating snacks, Takemichi hears on the news that conflict in the Tokyo Manji Gang led to civilian casualties, including Naoto Tachibana and Hinata Tachibana. That surprises Takemichi, as that was his only girlfriend in middle school. Standing on the train station, Takemichi complains how bad his life has turned. As the train comes, someone pushes him, and before he gets hit, he remembers Hinata. Suddenly, he awakens in the train and sees old school friends Makoto, Yamagishi, Akun, and Takiya calling him to leave the train, checking his phone. On July 4, 2000, which is exactly 12 years ago, on their way to fight the second years of Shibuya's third middle school, Takemichi starts to recall that they indeed went and fought in the second year, but gets scared as he hasn't fought in 10 years. They reach Shibuya, but everyone they talk with is either a first or third year, and they start to wonder if the second years are just avoiding them. Masataka comments that he heard they are looking for their second year, but all the second years are on a school trip. Takemichi and the rest of them get beaten up and informed that they will now be soldiers in the Tokyo Manji. Takemichi recalls how their hellish days started and the reason he left the town after graduation. Takemichi recalls Hinata and goes to replace, as he had even forgotten how she looks seeing him beaten, and Naoto realizes he had fought again and tells him to stop fighting for stupid things. While leaving, Takemichi hears some guys harassing a younger kid and gets angry. He goes and punches one, then takes and breaks a bottle, telling them he is in a sour mood and if they don't leave, he will kill them. The kid thanks him and talks to him, and she gives him advice to be more confident and not back down. The boy says his name is Naoto Tachibana, making Takemichi realize he's Hinata's younger brother. Knowing that he will also die in 12 years, Takemichi tells him to take care of his sister and that he loves her. Takemichi reveals that on the same day in 2017 he fell into the train tracks and ended up 12 years in the past. He reveals that on July 1, 2017 Hinata and he will die, so he must remember that date and protect his sister. Takemichi then shakes Noda's hand. Suddenly he wakes up in the infirmary at the station and sees it's July 4, 2017. He guesses this was just a dream, then wonders how he survived the train incident without a scratch. The one who saved his life shows up and wishes to speak with Takemichi. The man reveals he is Naoto, and Takemichi changed his fate with the information he gave in the past. Naoto was able to save him. Now that reveals he studied really hard and became a police officer. However, he still wasn't able to protect Hinata, who still died. Naoto then asks Takemichi to help him save his sister. Takemichi agrees to help save Hinata. Naoto explains that his power is time travel, and he is able to jump on the exact same day but 12 years ago. Takemichi spends 2 days without sleep in Noda's room, where Naoto gives him all the information he has obtained about the Tokyo Manji Gang and wants him to remember it, as Takemichi can't go back on any day he wants. Naoto tells him that when he gets back in time, he needs to meet the Tokyo Manji Gang, including the top 2 members, Manjiro, aka Mikey, and Kiski. Naoto states that if those 2 never met, the current Tokyo Manji Gang would never exist, and his sister wouldn't have to die. They shake hands and say Takemichi. Time travels 12 years ago. Takemichi opened his eyes and saw that he was in a fight. His opponent punches him and knocks him out. Later, Takemichi wakes up in Masataka's gang and is annoyed that he went down only after 1 punch. Masataka tells his men to teach Takemichi a lesson, and they start beating him up. Takemichi recalls a fight club and that he was master top a slave, which was eventually the reason he ran away, leaving his friends and Hinata behind. Akun reveals that Takuya will be fighting today. Akun wants to take Takuya's place, but Masataka won't listen. The fight is about to start, but Takemichi interrupts it. Knowing that he can't save Hinata by staying a slave, Takemichi challenges Masataka, who agrees to fight him. The first hit from Masataka makes Takemichi realize the vast differences in power, but he refuses to give up. Seeing Takemichi being beaten, Akun approaches the ring and takes out a knife, intending to stab Masataka. Takemichi tells Masataka that if he wants to win, he'll have to kill him, as he isn't giving up the vice commander of Tokyo Manji Gang, and tells Masataka to calm down. He is scaring the crowd behind him. Manjiro tells him that he is out of the Doriaki. Takemichi's friends wonder who he is. Everyone else bows down and greets Manjiro, the commander of the Tokyo Manji Gang. Manjiro approaches Takemichi and asks for his name. He then informs Takemichi that it's starting today. He is his friend, which surprises Takemichi. Manjiro approaches Masataka and asks him if he is running the fights. As he confirms, Manjiro kicks him in the face and then proceeds to beat him up. Later,
Are you the one running these matches?
Yes.
Who do you think you are? Okay then. Let's go, Kenny. Taking bets at this little fight club is lame.
Stop bringing Toman's rep down.
Yamagishi and Makoto are excited that Takemichi manages to make friends with Mikey. However, Takemichi panics as he goes from being a slave to Masataka to being a slave to a monster. The next morning, Takemichi heads towards school and meets Hinata, who asked him to go on a date before her cram school. Later today, during class, Documentary wonders what to do next. He managed to meet Mikey, but wonders how to prevent Mikey and Kasaki from meeting. He hears some noise from the corridors and then sees Mikey entering his classroom. Mikey wants a talking machine to hang out with, but Takemichi states he's busy as they try to convince him. Hinata misunderstands that they are bullying Takemichi, so he goes and slaps Mikey. She takes Takemichi's hand and tries to leave, but Ken stops them. Takemichi then places his hand on Ken and tells him to release Hinata, as there are things he won't give up ever again. Mikey tells Takemichi they could have been friends and asked him how he wants to die. Takemichi asked them to promise they wouldn't lay a hand on Hinata. Mikey states he doesn't care and reaches to punch Takemichi but stops his hand and states he's joking, and he would never hit a girl while riding bikes. Takemichi recalls that Naoto told him all the bad things that the Tokyo Manji Gang will do in the future, and he wonders if Mikey is really the head of such an evil gang. Takemichi asks Mikey why he likes him, and Mikey explains that he has a 10-year-old brother who is reckless and picks fights with much stronger people. Takemichi reminds him of his brother. Mikey intends to create a new era for delinquents and wants Takemichi to come with him. While walking home, he passes a group of guys and feels like he has seen one of them before. Hinata invites Takemichi to her place so that she can help him study. Takemichi is excited to be in Hinata's room, as it's the first girl's room he's been in. Suddenly, fireworks start, and Hinata takes Takemichi to the roof to enjoy the view. He reaches to hold her hand, but then realizes he is holding Noda's hand and returns to the present. In the present, Takemichi wakes up and starts crying. Naoto realizes his theory about handshaking is correct and guesses something must have changed since Takemichi returned. However, learning that Takemichi shaked his hand by mistake, he gets angry. Naoto reveals they learned something new about his time travel. Takemichi returns exactly 12 years in the past, and if he spends a week there, when he returns to the president, a week and a half have passed as well, and during that time his body is in suspended animation. Takemichi reveals he met Mikey and suggests they go and see him, as he wants to learn from him why Tokyo Manji Gang, aka Taman, has changed. While they go over documents to look for a way to find Mikey, Naoto sees someone he doesn't recognize. Akun had become a member of Tom's upper echelon. Naoto finds it strange. In his timeline, Akun got arrested for stabbing Masataka, and after his release, he was just a no-name punk. Takemichi finds Akun's old phone number and calls him. Akun ends up answering, and Takemichi arranges a meeting with him at the bar. Akun is running as they meet him. Takemichi can't recognize him at first as he is missing his pompadour, and he tells him he has been waiting all this time for him to show up. Akun wishes to speak with Takemichi in private, so they head to the rooftop. Takemichi comments that Akun must have a good life with all the money, but Akun comments that there are things you can't buy. He knows that Naoto was a cop and that he is Hinata's little brother. Akun then reveals that he was the one who pushed him into the train tracks. Takemichi refuses to believe that he would try to kill him because he is his friend. Akun reveals that he is a Kazaki soldier, and everyone in Toman obeys him, as they haven't seen Mikey in years. Akun reveals that Mikey changed after Ken died, and asks Takemichi to go back in time and save him and everyone. After that, Akun jumps from the rooftop, causing Takemichi to start crying. On the other end of the rooftop, Kazaki is seen listening to their conversation.